At the boat, their clothing changed, their point of view changed. The result was an amazingly different American woman. But it was not until 2 years after the war that the movies completely reflected this change. The catalyst was Valentino. The picture, The Sheet. It was a book every teenage girl in America was reading behind closed doors, each secretly sharing the heroine's fascination with the handsome hero. And that was the difference. The man who had kidnapped our heroine was not the villain, but for the first time, the hero. And Valentino's answer to Agnes Eyre's question, "Why have you brought me here?" would change the American love goddess. For now, for the first time, the heroine did know. The result was to be Clara Bow, the culmination of the flapper heroine. A sexy little girl, a tease. Miss Bow's most famous picture was It. She plays a young girl working in a department store who has a chance to go out with her handsome boss. At a time when the word sex was still considered racy, the word it was accepted as a substitute for sex appeal. It became a byword of the 20s, and Miss Bow, forever afterward, the it girl. Clara Bow was flaming youth and rebellion. She paraded a new worldly wisdom that sex somehow meant a good time. However, don't be misled. Miss Bow was but a first cousin to True Heart Susie. She, too, is a good girl. When they come home at night, although the boss is handsome, eligible, and they are thoroughly in love, there are only a few years between the end of World War I and Clara Bow. And yet what a wealth of sexual and moral changes were compressed into those years. The vamp was to disappear. Nita Naldi in Blood and Sand played one of the last of the great vamp roles. For now that the heroine had become aware of sex, the vamp was no longer needed. And shortly, though still in magnificent style, was to make her exit. More and more, European attitudes to sex were reaching and reshaping America. In a small American town, a crusading district attorney zealously guards the public's morality. To him, any woman smoking a cigarette is sinful. The film is Woman of the World, and this is the Polish star Pola Negri, playing a countess who has come to America. A woman who knows about life and love, and is not afraid of either. But she is hounded by the Puritans of the town until finally, unable to stand the hypocrisy any longer, she defends herself. What Miss Negri does not know is that she has already changed the town. Of course, in reality, it was America that was changing, and Miss Negri but a reflection of that change. The year is 1925. The 20s have started to roar. Inhibitions were cast aside. The demand was for something unusual, something exotic, something like the heroine of Sorrows of Satan, a legend of Faust and the devil. Faust is played by Ricardo Cortez and Satan by Adolphe Menjou. The devil offers Faust the opportunity of getting whatever he desires in the world: wealth, power, prestige, and even a marguerite. This is Leah Deputy, a Marguerite who is just a little different from the Marguerites we have known. Faust is smitten and gets his Marguerite, but her ambitions reach far beyond Faust. D.W. Griffith had his own personal view of the battle of the sexes. He had fought it many times and lost. By matching Marguerite against the devil, he evened up the score. It was the only sure way Griffith knew of having the woman lose. The change that had taken place can be seen by comparing Miss Gloria Swanson, just about the period of World War I, with Miss Gloria Swanson 8 years after the war. The same Miss Swanson, but quite a different love goddess. The scene is from The Loves of Sonia, a Swanson production of 1926. Cecil B. DeMille compared the excesses of the 20s with the orgies of ancient Rome as the subject of his film Manslaughter. He solemnly warned of the consequences of this generation's behavior. Notice the two women on the right. But moralist or not, DeMille was a showman and never one to keep an audience in the dark about the evils he was lamenting. He introduced the bathtub scene to movies with Gloria Swanson in Male and Female, and the nude bathing scene became a trademark of the 20s. Clara Bow. Every heroine very much in her own style. Esther Ralston. In his epic of the French Revolution, Orphans of the Storm, D.W. Griffith filled the bathtub with wine, as well as some leftover young ladies from Intolerance. Wine for Griffith, milk for DeMille. The most famous movie bath of them all was to be Claudette Colbert's in The Sign of the Cross. Even in the late 20s, standards in Europe continued to be different from those in the United States, with its basically Puritan background. This is Fritz Lang's Spies, produced in Germany in 1927. These charming ladies appeared in the American film Ben-Hur, but an export version that was never shown in the United States. The same scene was even shot 2 different ways. This is from the Faust legend you have just seen. Leah Deputy played the European version like this, and America saw her like this. In Europe itself, they were going a little further. Making pictures like Casanova and Small Town Sinner. And this is from Abel Gance's End of the World. European films differed not only in the extent of nudity they permitted, but in their portrayal of human behavior. In Diary of a Lost Girl, made in Germany in 1929, a young girl with no money and no place to turn goes to the address of the only friend she has. Unknown to her, it is a bordello. Its madam could have played grandma in any American film. But no American-made film could or would have presented a brothel in such a sympathetic manner. The girl is Louise Brooks, a young American actress who made her most famous pictures in Europe. And the question is, will she accept the bordello or not?